What's up, everyone? Welcome. It's Thursday, and of course, Brian here, and I'm joined by none other than Daniel Payton.
Yep, here I am.
Yeah, welcome. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, good. I'm tired. Tomorrow is the opening of Motor City Comic Con here in Novi, Michigan, and the day before Comic Con is always hectic because you got to get everything arranged. I mean, all this stuff behind me's got to come down, get packed away, get ready to go. Because tomorrow morning, before it opens, I get to go in and set my stuff up. They have kind of a layered schedule on how you set up. So they started today, but I wasn't able to go until tomorrow morning. So early in the morning, I'm going to be there at my booth, putting up my signs, putting up my books, setting up the table, and it's just getting all ready. Always seems like I'm ready ahead of time, and then the day comes, and I am running like crazy.
Yeah. Oh, boy. It seems like a lot. I don't know if I would be able to do that, but is this one close?
Yeah. Okay. I live in Farmington Hills, Michigan. This is in Novi, and Novi is literally right next door. So this place, they're holding it as the Suburban Show Place in Novi. This is where a lot of the big car companies do their big car shows and stuff. So it's a huge venue, very nice, very upscale, and it is, I would wager, 15 minutes from where I live. So just like right down the road, I'm going to be there tomorrow morning. That's the good thing. Oftentimes when I'm rushing that morning to set up, I'm having to drive 2-3 hours to get where I'm going. And so it's just, a long, early road trip. And then I hit the door running. This time it's just down the road. So that's good.
There you go. That's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be my first major Comic-Con to go to since COVID. So whereas before I did certain things, I was able to go and meet people and do things. This time it's probably going to be a different arrangement. So I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I got to get in there and start doing this. I can't just wait forever. So I'm getting in there for this, and then not too long down the road, I'll be in Knoxville, Tennessee for the next big one.
So since you've registered do you have to register to be part of the Comic-Cons?
Yes.
Okay, so do people know that you're going to be there?
Yeah.
Is it like listed on the website or whatever? Oh, okay.
Motor City put a nice big ad for me on there right after I signed up, which I signed up back in July. So usually for Comic-Cons, you have to sign up well in advance as a vendor or a promoter, something where you're going to be there representing yourself, your company, whatever, because you're going to you have only so much space. They only have so many tables, so many booths. And this one, I tried the first year we lived here before COVID, and I couldn't get in. It was already booked, but I moved here, and by the time I moved here, the convention was literally just like 6 months away, and they were like, oh, no, we're already booked. And so this time around, they didn't even know they were going to hold it until about 6 months ago. And so when they said, yes, we're actually doing this, everybody, yes, we're doing it this year, I was like, okay, I want in. I contacted them, and the person on the other end said, well, we're kind of moving everybody who was scheduled for 2020 just over to 2021. So if we have any openings, we'll contact you. And I just kind of gave up. I was like, oh, well, that means they're going to be full, and there's probably a waiting list a mile long. I'm on the end of it. Well, they contacted me just a few days later and said, okay, we've got it all set up. There is just a few spaces left, but since you've been asking us for 2 years, we'll let you have first pick. And I was like, oh, I'll take it. I'll go. And so I was so happy about that because I wanted to be in this. I wanted to experience this particular Comic-Con, which is supposed to be huge. I've already noted they've got a lot of celebrity guests, a lot of people there. And I said the venue is massive. So I'm really excited about the whole thing.
Is it expensive to be part of Comic-Con? To have a booth or a table? Or does it depend on location?
It depends on more what Comic-Con you're going to. I've done a lot of very small ones that are like little local comic conventions where they're mostly actual comic cons, where they got mostly people there with big boxes of old comics and stuff people are thumbing through, and they'll have a few rows of vendor booths for people like me, and I'll spend $50 to rent a booth for a whole weekend.
That's not bad.
So those are great, but they don't have a lot of traffic, and most people there are there for a very specific reason. They're there to get their comic book collection filled out. So it's kind of the give and take. It's cheap to be there, but I don't get a lot of traffic.
Right.
Like this, from Fanboy Comic Cons to this one, they average about $300 to $400 a booth or a table for the entire weekend, and there's where you have to make sure you make your money back. But as I said, lots and lots of foot traffic, so I'm expecting to see a lot of people. New readers, old readers are coming back are finding me here, so that's great. Now you go to the big ones like Gen Con, Dragon Con, New York City Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con. The booths for those can run up to $3,000 to $4,000. They are massive. Dragon Con, the cheapest booth I found like 5 years ago when I thought about signing up for it, the cheapest booth I could find that was reasonably placed was $900.
Oh my!
And and the thing is, I hear they get tens of thousands of guests to come to those. So there's a good chance you're going to make your money back. In fact, a lot of people say you do.
Right.
However, I have to be very certain of that because I ain't rich. So if you're going to put that money into it, I better be getting it back.
Plus, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So I haven't done Dragon Con or any of the big ones yet. I want to do either New York City Comic Con or Dragon Con in the near future. But what I want to do is I want to encourage one of my publishers, particularly Cosby Media, to do a publisher's booth. Those are more expensive. They're usually a corner booth, which gives you like two sides instead of just one table. And but they usually have like four authors, two on one side, two on the other. Maybe their publisher sitting there to talk to people about publishing. It's a whole different ordeal, and you split the cost, and you all promote each other. But it requires making sure everybody can do it. They can all spare this weekend at this certain time. So I almost did it once for Dragon Con, and then half the people said, "Oh, sorry, we had to do something else," and it got where it didn't work. But I want to do either New York City or Dragon Con because they're big. Those are big ones.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to the New York City one over the weekend. I could have met Kate Mulgrew was there, and I forgot Doherty. I think her last name is. She played the president in Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember her name. It escapes me. I apologize. The redhead there. So she was there as well, and I could have went because New York City is only 3.5 hours away from me. It's easy. Yeah, I know. So if you ever do one of those, come to New York City. Come this way. So yeah, I will petition Braxton here about this if I have to.
Well, the thing is that convention was held, you're right, just like this past weekend, correct?
Yeah.
Which means we have to start now on signing up for it. They fill up really, really fast. So you're right. I'm going to be getting on the horn with Braxton and Lawrence and Keyshawn and anybody else in our publishing house who have young adult, superhero, fantasy, sci-fi, all this stuff that fits there, and say, okay, let's put this together and get this in because we have to do it now. If we decide, we'll think about it till next July, no chance.
Yeah. Hello to everyone. Because we were talking, it was easier just to put up your messages of hello. So we have my sister, my grandmother, my aunt, my other aunt. We have John with us tonight. George Vega Art had a booth at New York Comic Con. My friend Will went. Yeah, I really wanted to go, but I didn't. That's all right.
I've had 2 different opportunities to meet Kate Mulgrew, and both times she canceled right before or during the event. So I've never met her. I want to. I've always admired her acting. Outside of Star Trek and Star Trek, I always thought that she is one of the better actresses in the field. She's got a great range. She's got a great personality. She's got a great stage presence all the way around. She's good. And as an aspiring actor, when I was younger, my first chance I had to meet her, that was why I wanted to meet her, and she kept having to back out. So I met several other actors because she couldn't be there, and so yes, one of these days I'm going to get a chance to meet her somehow. I'm going to get a chance to meet her.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I have a signed autograph of her somewheres in this house. I think it's tucked away, so I did get that. I requested one. Is it her signature? Who knows? But still, it's a picture of her with her name on it. So, yeah, I treasure it.
Most actors and actresses I have met who do that, the requests where you mail off or you contact their fan club, they do their signing. It used to be a rubber stamp. It used to be something where you'd have your fan club head or you'd have your press agent or somebody who'd have a rubber stamp made up like your signature and literally just rubber stamp of pictures and stuff at home and mail it off to the fans who are requesting them. And that was acceptable. And people actually knew it. They would call it the rubber stamp signature. But it became such a frowned upon thing when people started going to conventions more and being out there more, that it was like, oh, I want the real one. So, and a lot of these actors and actresses understand that and respect that their fans love them enough that they want their real signature.
Yeah.
Why be a butt and go, okay, they want my signature. They're a real big fan, rubber stamp and send it off. These people are generally nicer than that now.
Right. Yeah.
But that's one of the things that autograph aficionados, the people who price them and sell them and work with them, they can tell a rubber stamp from a real signature. And they will, and going back, back to the times of the 50s and 60s from Lucille Ball and I know Tony Bennett, all these there's all these actors, singers, actresses, all that they'll come into these antique shops or these places and say, "Oh, look, I've got this picture that was signed by Dean Martin," and they'll look at it and go, "Yeah, that's a rubber stamp." And the thing is, it has value because whoever got it from his people, but ultimately, it's like, yeah, here's $5 if you really want to sell it,
right?
And I actually learned from somebody how they tell the difference. They tell because if they examine the signature, they see bubbles. Because when you stamp something, your ink and then stamp, and most of the time it'll cause minor bubbles. If you're signing with a pen, it shouldn't cause any bubbles.
Interesting.
Hello, Mark.
Mark Allen.
But that's also why I'm not that really, but personally, I only collect autographs from people that I've actually met. I don't want to send off to somebody. The closest I have come is I got an autograph from, I'm trying to think who it was now, J.G. Hertzler. He played General Gowron in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and he played a few other roles in Star Trek, Voyager and Next Gen. But I didn't get to meet him at a convention, but then I met him through something like this. So in a way, I've met him, just not technically in person. So I got his autograph. He sent me a picture of his autograph. But outside of that, I want to meet him. I don't care. I want to meet him.
Okay.
Although I do have a treasured autograph that I know I can't. I have one that's signed by Victor Borga. I have a book he wrote that's signed by Victor Borga, and I have a feeling you have no idea who I'm talking about. Victor Borga, once upon a time, was a very famous musician and comedian.
I mean, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was. If you ever look up on YouTube, it's Victor, just like Sam, and Borga. Just put in Borg, like the Borg, and it'll be Victor Borg. YouTube's gonna find it for you. And the guy is hilarious. He was absolutely hilarious. He was a musician, and he used the piano as his comedy tool, and he was great. So just look him up. But I got a book of his that he wrote that was actually his favorite comedies and music. It was a whole bunch of stories from musical history that were comical, such as the composer who had a son in the late 19th century, and everybody in the symphony wanted to be a godparent. And where he was from, if you were a godparent, you gave your name to that child as a middle name. This kid had 37 middle names. So, I mean, that kind of humorous stories. And I picked up the book at an antique shop, and I opened it up, and the very front of it had a signature of Victor Borger. And I thought, oh, that's cool. They printed his signature. And then I picked up another one. I was like, wait, that doesn't have it. And I started looking. Oh, that's not a print. That's actually his signature. So I have that. So for historical fans of classic entertainment, that was really cool. I mean, he was long gone before I even knew who he was, so I could never have met him.
Very cool. Very cool. So yeah.
John Clark, you know who Victor Borger is, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what he meant by that. So yeah. Don't forget to like and share the video, please.
Please do.
Don't forget that this is also streaming on YouTube. I've changed the YouTube channel, so I've changed the name of it. I've changed the look of it. So yeah, check it out. Twitch, we're also live on Twitch as well.
Okay. Hello, Twitch.
Yeah, hello, Twitch. So
I say I've only used Twitch when I was doing some art classes with somebody, so I don't think I've barely ever used Twitch. It's like I use that, and I use Discord for once in a great while for when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons with some friends of mine, and we all can't meet up, so we use that. Outside of that, those two channels, which are very popular with all the gamers, not me. I mean, I love gaming. I really do. I work for a game. I better like it, but I just don't get on Twitch and Discord too often.
I thought, why not? Because Twitch used because somebody told me about Twitch, and I'm like, why do I want to put my show on Twitch? It has nothing to do with gaming. I don't think I've ever talked about gaming on the show. But they're like, yeah, there's so many podcasts on there now, and I'm like, all right, fine. So I created the channel, and so now we stream on there as well. So why not, right? Get us out there for more people to enjoy.
We can talk about gaming if you want to. I do work for a game, but I don't know how many people on Twitch want to hear about Heroes Rising every single week.
Right, yeah. So yeah, but yeah. So and our view count has been going up. So, and we have subscribers on YouTube. So thank you for the subscribes. So yeah, I was telling my sister earlier on a phone call that I need to come up with a name for our followers. Everyone is naming their followers, or they come up with it themselves or whatever. So it's like, well, I don't do that. What would I call all of them?
Well, often the followers name themselves.
Yeah.
I know Benedict Cumberbatch was talking about his followers, all the girls who follow him, and they start calling themselves Cumberbitches.
Yeah.
I mean, so they kind of name themselves. So people who are watching this, if you can think of a clever, humorous, and reasonably sane name for yourselves as fans of the Brian and Dan Hour, let us hear it.
Yeah.
Give us your best shot.
Yeah.
And if you do, we'll come up with some kind of tag you can wear. Something that marks you as a fan of the Brian and Dan Hour.
Absolutely. Or hashtag us. I know some people out there, because I'm also on TikTok. Whoop, whoop. I don't do a lot of videos now. But I'm on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram.
Yeah, so, I do Instagram now and then. I've never done TikTok. It doesn't really thrill me to try and get that. I run out of time to do all this stuff.
Yeah, you only get so long, and then it's like, it's not like I'm a singer or a performer or crafty or anything like that. So I'm like, why do I need a TikTok? But, people I know have a TikTok, so I have to have a TikTok to follow them. And then I find myself doing videos and then videos with my dog. And then I'm doing a duet with my sister on there. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool or whatever, but I really don't do too much on there. So this is enough for me right here.
I would do more social media stuff, but between writing, editing, publishing, working in Heroes Rising, and real life, I run out of time to social media. I really try. Honestly, I do, and I get nagged on by people about trying to get more presence there. I need to post more. I need to get more followers on Twitter. I need to get more people on Facebook. I need to post this here, do that there. And I'm like, I can't do all this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm running out of brain power here, people. My creativity is poured into my books, not into 5-second posts on.
Yeah. It finally got to the point where I've been doing this for so long that I really don't care about the views. I don't care about the numbers. If I can have a guest on the show and talk to them and meet someone and do this with somebody else like Dan here, fine. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
So numbers, yeah, you want the views and you want people to notice you. And so I think that I've put myself out. Well, I think I put the show out there enough, just enough. But I don't care about the views. I'm not like other people because, like you, I work 40 hours a week. I really don't have the time, to be concerned about social media as well. So sometimes I poke at it here and there, but I ain't got the time for that.
Yeah, the one I try to keep most active is Facebook because that's my oldest. That's one that has the most followers on it, and that's also it's a good platform. The way it's designed works best for me. I'm a little more wordy. I like to put stuff out there. Everything else is so constrained that it makes it hard, and then it make that difficulty suddenly activates my "why am I doing this" function.
Right.
It's like Facebook gives me a lot of room to wiggle. Twitter and Instagram and all, they don't give me a lot of room. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm so busy with stuff. I'm trying to do this. It's making me upset. Okay, that's it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to go over here and just write my book.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So speaking of books, I have a fun little thing I want to tell people. Really fun. It's excellent. I've been talking a lot over the past year about a book that I have worked on and sent through a lot of editing, a lot of time, called The Owl-Headed Wand. And this one is set in the same universe as the Winter Wizard Chronicles. It doesn't contain any of the same characters, except for one reference to the Queen Jade. Other than that, it's none of the same characters. It's its own story. Well, I had it edited about 5 months ago. I got back my major round of edits, and I hired professional editors who worked for big companies. And 2 of them I worked with both said to me, this book is great. You really should look at trying to get this published by someone like Scholastic. That's huge. That's a big name. It's big publishing. And I would love that. But to have someone who's been in the industry say that to me was like really encouraging. I want to do this. And I did my research. The only way to get into these big companies is to have an agent. They don't take just random submissions from somebody who says, here, check out my book, because they get billions of those, and they turn them all away because they don't have time. And they want somebody on the outside they trust to say, this is a good book, here, check it out. They don't want some author saying, I've got the next best novel ever written, check it out, because everybody's going to say that. So I went looking for an agent. Finding an agent is harder than finding a publisher. They have to be. They have to be very, very picky because they want to be known in the industry for finding good authors and good books. So I put it out there, and I got rejected. I've got 4 rejections so far from agents, but then I got one back that was a manuscript request. I've never had that happen. In 15 years of this, I have never had an agent respond with a manuscript request. And for those who are listening who don't understand what that means, a manuscript request, when you send your book to an agent, you send them a query letter, which literally just says, hi, my name is, this is the book I'm presenting, a paragraph about the book itself, like just real short little sharp, here's what the story is, and then my credentials, thank you for your time. And then they ask for 5-10 of the first pages of your book so they can kind of see your writing style. That's it. That is your whole resume. You get to set in front of them and hope they take you. If they don't take that, you're out of luck. And that's very common. They reject them because they get thousands an hour. If they like it, they ask for your manuscript, which means they liked your writing. They're interested in the story. Your query letter got their attention. Now they're going to read your book for the book's sake, not just kind of check out your writing style. Now, you can still be rejected at this stage. So I'm not sitting here saying, I've already succeeded. No. But I am saying that getting to this stage is like getting a call back in Hollywood, going for auditions and then getting a call back to try out one more time is very, very big. It means you are now almost got your foot in the door. So I am super excited about this. And not just because I expect this one to succeed. I hope it does. I really hope that she loves it and we go forward, because this is a great agent and a very well-known agency that works with a lot of publishing. But also it means that I have something there. I have more confidence that my query letter and my introduction are well enough that even other agents might be interested. So even if this one says sorry at the end of reading the manuscript, I still have a chance that another agent's going to. So this is big for me. And I'm so very excited about it because it's an opportunity I have yet to see. I mean, I love Cosby. I love Ambassador, people I've worked with publishing, but I would absolutely adore getting my book into one of the big five or one of the big publishers of young adult fantasy. So that's where I'm moving forward on this.
Absolutely.
And that's really big news. I said, if you're not understanding why I'm excited, I respect that. This is very much industry stuff, so you may not get it, but for me, this is huge news.
It's very good news. I hope it works out. I really do. That would be awesome.
Yes, I'd love it. Yeah, let me tell you something. If she accepts it and offers a contract, everybody's going to hear that one. I learned about this manuscript request almost a week ago, so I've kind of kept it silent because I hate to go out there and go, I ain't done it, and then have it rejected. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if I get offered a contract, I guarantee you that with or without the internet, you're going to hear it.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you, John.
It'll happen. I think it'll happen. I hope so.
Keep your fingers crossed. Keep your prayers crossed. Whatever works for you. I really want this to succeed. I believe in this book. This is one of my best young adult, or really middle grade, which is slightly under young adult, fantasies I've ever written. It really has a lot to it. And I have put a lot of money and time into making the manuscript as clean, as crisp, and as precise as I could make it by hiring some very good editors, proofreaders, and people to make that happen. So I've put all the efforts I can as an author into making this manuscript look and feel as good as possible. Right now, it's time to sit back and just say, okay, now it's there. That's one of the hardest things about being in art of any kind, but writing particularly. You can put years and years, money and time into a manuscript, and then you have to sit down, shut up, and hand it to somebody and hope the 15 seconds they give you of their attention is enough for them to move you forward. Other than that, you're still just sitting there waiting. And I don't blame that. That's something there are authors who get so mean about agents. So they talk bad about them, they attack them, they badmouth them online when they give them rejections. Agents get tens of thousands of manuscripts a day. They have to sift through all these query letters minute by minute to find the one that they think will succeed. Because if they just pick up everybody and start pushing all this stuff, especially not good manuscripts, to publishers, they'll ruin their reputation, and they won't do any good for the author. So I don't think anything bad of rejection. I never ever think anything bad of rejection from an agent. I know it's there. I mean, and you have to take into consideration these agents aren't rejecting you just because you're bad. I mean, Frank Herbert's Dune was rejected by every single publisher and agent he talked to, and I mean 100%. Nobody accepted his book. It was because of a friend of his who ran a publishing house that only published manuals for car parts. And this guy believed in Frank Herbert's book Dune, and he published this book Dune in the same house that published the manuals for how to install a carburetor. And Dune became one of the keystones of 20th century science fiction. I mean, they've made now 3 movies off of it, 4 miniseries, and it's been in continuous publication for 70 years. So I guarantee you the agents and publishers who rejected them are kicking themselves, but ultimately everybody rejected them. So I don't, it doesn't mean the book's bad. I never look at the rejection as, it's because of me. I understand.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not going to be a snark about it. If I do succeed with major success, I'm not going to pick up every age and go, look, you failed. And there are some authors who've done that. And I'm like, don't be a jerk, people. Really, don't do that.
Right.
So,
Oh boy.
if anyone has any questions about this, what I'm talking about, shoot them. This is a part of publishing a lot of authors don't know about, especially new authors, or they don't understand that well. How about Brydans? Hourlies? Brydans sounds interesting. Hourly sounds like a medication. Take this hourly.
Good ideas, John. Good ideas.
Still the one offering them.
That's right. Yeah. And of course, my sister, you need to get a hold of Daniel Payton and collect your free copy. Audio book. Exactly. Of The Winter Wizard Chronicles.
Yes.
By G.G. Geist.
Yes.
So, yes. And the other person, I never gave it out, by the way. So I might as well just give it out now. So, she's not even on. Isn't that sad? I'm missing a sister. Yeah.
I like to joke with people and say I have like 100,000 sisters, which might be almost as many as you have.
I have 5. I had to think there for a second.
If you stop and go and start counting, it's like, oh, that's right.
Yeah, right. So my sister Ashley, was asking about it because she has a copy of the Winter Wizard Chronicles that I gave her. And I think she also received one of your other books that you had sent to me to give away, signed, which was very nice. So she has that too. So I'm like, yes. I said, you can win. I'll give it to you because she's excited to hear this gentleman's voice because, of how he presented himself on the show. So she was very impressed. So I'd love to listen to him. I said, okay. So, yeah. I am texting her. She's telling me stuff. Yeah. I won't tell you what I'm texting her.
I'm kidding.
But yeah. But anyways, so
John has 1 sister, 3 stepsisters, and 1 half sister.
Yeah, I have 1 half sister. 1 half sister. Yeah. A half brother. I have a half brother. I haven't met him. Never met him. My sister I did. She lives in Maine. Sometimes she pops on. Hello. Ariel. Ariel is her name. So, yeah. What? There she is texting me back.
I jokingly say that I have like 100,000 sisters because I'm an honorary member of the Sigma Alpha Iota, and it's a professional fraternity for women in music. And they're all called sisters, but they gave me an honorary membership due to my work in music and my work in charity through them. And so they call me, I'm initiated as a extra member, but you still refer to them as your sisters. I have so many SAI sisters, and so
Right.
I have 1 real brother, but I have like 100,000 sisters, but they're all just part of this fraternity.
Yeah. Okay, so she should be joining us momentarily, but anyways, let's see. I know that there was something else that we had to talk about. So we're in our spooky season right now, and we've decided to do anything really pertaining to Halloween and all that stuff. It's October, so and of course that means that for I think I don't know how many years now, 5 years now maybe. Sylvia Schultz is going to be returning November 4th.
Mm.
So mark your calendars, right? The 4th. Yes, the first Thursday of November is the 4th. Yes. So she's going to be coming on because her book just dropped as well, was released.
Good.
So, yeah. So I told her, yeah, we want you to come on. We need you to come on. It's October. Everyone's been asking about you. So, but besides Sylvia, we're doing the whole paranormal thing. We've already talked to Debbie last week.
Mm-hmm.
We're at Musin. So, which I have to say, I got an email from her afterwards, thanking me for, having her on the show. And it was wonderful. I've been watching you guys for a while. You're funny. So it was great to hear from her. So, yeah, I do have some emails that I need to respond to. So there's like 6 authors, I believe, that are clamoring to get onto the show. And some of them sound very interesting. So, yeah. And then the potential for a gentleman who carves pumpkins is coming on next Thursday. I say potentially, but I hope so. That would be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
So, I've never had a pumpkin carver on the show before, and I've never talked to one. So, yeah. And he doesn't live very far from me, apparently. So, yeah, summer's in New Hampshire.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's interesting. And then, I think we're going to keep going until, maybe the middle of November to give everyone a chance to come on the show. So the paranormal will probably skip into November, right before Thanksgiving, right? How fitting. And we'll go from there. I think the week before Thanksgiving will most likely be our last for this year. So, yeah, because I don't do shows in December. So maybe one.
Might do a holiday special.
A holiday special. And we got to come up with some sort of something here for our Halloween show, which is technically next Thursday, because the Thursday after that, there's no show. The week of Halloween. So
I'm gone that week.
Someone is busy that week.
I'll be signing books and greeting people at a Comic-Con on Halloween. So can't do that. But next week we'll have to do that. That might be cool if we do have our pumpkin carver next week to add to that.
Right. It would be nice. So, I mean, he's locked in for next week. I've been talking to him, but we'll see how that's going to go. Let's see. Amber. What? What's she saying? Holiday special. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always did a holiday special or whatever. I just filmed whatever I was doing pretty much every year and just caught on, right? So, yeah, I don't mind doing a holiday special. So, we still need to get you to cook something for us.
Yes, I do need to do that. Right now I'm trying to perfect a creeping crust cobbler recipe, and I've been making a lot of them recently.
Yes. But here's the good thing about StreamYard. So you can pre-record.
Mm-hmm.
So if you capture any footage of you, cooking something, we can always air it. A cooking segment.
I should do something. I should definitely do something. I know that I've done my cookies before. I should do something nice for the holiday season, something fun that we could do as part of our holiday special.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would totally be nice. Yes. So obviously you're going to be dressing up for Halloween.
Oh yeah, dress up. Yes, I do have. If you can see behind me, I have already costume bits and bobs ready for the season. So.
Very nice. You're going as a doctor. Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Yes, definitely. Oh well.
A wizard.
I would say witch doctor because that's wrong.
A witch doctor. Yeah, a wizard.
Wizard.
Very nice.
Well, there are wizard doctors in my Dragon Wand book, so I guess that kind of works.
That's true. That is true. So yeah, my aunt's got the good idea. Holiday special.
And a reminder: tomorrow is the release day for Dragon Wand Book 5.
That's right.
If you want the ebook or print book, they're going to be available on Amazon. And my big release is going to be at the convention.
Very nice. That's going to be, yeah. It's going to be cool. Oh, I want to go to one so bad. I will one of these days. I got to get to one. But Ashley, I think the pumpkin carver would be so cool. There she is, folks. My sister, who's late. Because I had to text her to get on the show. And is the winner of the Winter Wizard Chronicle audio book.
Yes.
Yay!
Huzzah! Now you just need to make sure I know. You can send me a message and we'll get that arranged.
That's right. Contact Daniel Payton, Ashley, to collect your reward. Prize. Reward. Prize.
I can help reorder everyday items. Track your deliveries. Add to your shopping
Alexa,
list.
stop. Stop. Shush. That was weird. All right. Anyways.
I thought my house was haunted when we first moved. Well, not first moved here. Right after we first moved here, my father, who loves everything tech, had replaced something in the house, and my grandmother kept asking me because mom and dad was out. I'm here. I'm way away from her. Like I'm hearing voices. Nobody's here, and I'm thinking, oh great, grandma's hearing voices. But then one day, I'm coming up the stairs. She is gone. With my father, who's taking her to a medical appointment. My mom is somewhere else. I'm alone, and I'm hearing somebody talk. And I'm like, okay, now I'm hearing voices. I walk into our living room. I'm looking around. So, okay, what's going on? And I say, what's going on? And our thermostat answers me. And I'm like, okay, that's not right. And my father's like, oh, yeah, I got this Alexa thermostat. So it looks like, to anybody who's in our house, it looks like just a thermostat on the wall. That's all it is. But if you talk to it, it will talk back. And we also have a Google Home. Our phones are Google Pixel, so they got Google Active on those things. And I've got iPads with Siri. And so if you're careless about how you talk in our living room or anywhere in this house, something is going to be answering you.
It's true. It is true. I have A over here. I got the big screen that moves for Alexa here. She heard me. Shh. And then off to my other side here is Google, who controls my house, all my lights, the thermostat, the doorbell. So yeah, it's very nice, very handy to use. Anyways, yeah, you always got to be careful, especially the commercials. But they made it so that there was an update because people's devices were going off during a random, Google commercial or whatever. But they made it so that it recognizes that it's a TV commercial somehow, and so it would not respond. So, yeah, they stopped because we had to turn them off sometimes. But, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have a friend who works for Amazon, and he said that at one point there were, early on in Alexa, that they'd have commercial where Amazon's advertising, and they'd have someone saying on the ad, Alexa, order me groceries. And a week later, this person gets groceries delivered to their house.
No, Alexa, do not order me groceries.
That's the problem. And so the commercials were advertising it by showing people using the device at home, and the people's home devices were listening. And so they would get something ordered and sent to their home, and they'd be like, I don't know why I have this. And they finally, I don't know what they did. Probably something in the harmonics where that it recognizes that is not a real command.
Right.
Because you're right. Now, when the commercials come on, they constantly advertise stuff. It literally is like death. And I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. Haley, my niece. Hey, Haley said hi, Brian and Dan.
Hello. Hey.
Hey, Haley.
Isn't that a chicken?
Hey, on Moana.
Yeah.
Is it Moana?
Moana.
Hey. Yep, that it is. Did you happen to see? Oh, maybe I don't know. Do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the Muppets Haunted Mansion?
Watched it last night.
What did you think of it?
I liked it.
Okay.
Very Muppet. I had to watch it because a friend of mine is the director, Kirk Thatcher, who is the director, and so he's been talking about that for months. And so when it came on, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good for a basic Halloween special. It isn't a Muppet movie; it's a Halloween special. So that's if you approach it like you're watching a Muppet movie, you might be disappointed because it's limited and it's pretty much just a couple of the characters who run it. But it's as a Halloween special, I thought it was great. They've got like 5 Muppet Christmas specials, but I think this might be their first Halloween.
Maybe. I don't know.
Something's blinking.
Yeah, my phone.
I'm gathering you weren't as fond of it.
Huh?
I'm gathering you weren't as fond of it.
You know, I don't care for musicals. I'm sorry to say that, which is funny because I like the sound of music. But for some reason, I just don't care for musicals or whatever. So, but I mean, you know, it's geared towards kids, but it's the Haunted Mansion. I've been on that ride. So, and that's what it pertains to. You know, they're going through the mansion and, you know, they use jokes about the ride and everything else throughout the whole, you know, a couple places throughout the movie. So it was all right. It was cute for what it was, you know, 52 minutes of my time. But it's a Muppets. I grew up with them, you know, so I watched it. It was good. Will I watch it again? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. So
I sat through the show Squid Game this past week.
What is that?
It's horrible. That's what it is.
Okay.
Anybody's watching this, if you're listening right now, close your ears if you don't want to hear spoilers. I don't want to spoil it, but I might. So just let you know if you haven't seen it. Squid Game reminds me a little of the Hunger Games, or if you watched way back in the late 80s, early 90s, I can't remember where, and they did a movie called Running Man. And it had Arnold Schwarzenegger on it on a game show, but the game show was literally to risking your life. People died on it, but that was the whole gimmick.
Yeah.
Kind of in that vein. The story is it's made in South Korea. The whole thing is South Korean. It's dubbed, so you're listening to people speak, and the voices and mouth aren't working. But that's okay. I've a lot of stuff like that. But it's the story is about a bunch of people who are all invited to this game on an island, this compound, and everybody has such serious, crippling debt of some nature that their life is pretty much forfeit anyway. Like they owe money to serious loan sharks, or they've embezzled millions of dollars from their company and are going to prison. You know, all these people are in such horrible debt that they are, you know, their life is almost forfeit in the regular world. So this person brings them to this island, and they are invited to play a game. The last people on these games left standing will divide the prize money, and the prize money is in U.S. dollars is going to equate to tens of millions of dollars. So it would solve their financial problem, and so the people all agree. And right away, they sign the contract, but they don't understand that the game says that if you lose, you're eliminated. By eliminated, they shoot you in the head. So in the very first, and every game is a children's game. They start with playing red light, green light against a giant robot that's watching them. And if you move on a red light, you get a sniper rifle to the head.
What?
And then they move forward with that. They play marbles. They play, I'm trying to think here, tug of war. You know, they do children's games. And it's called Squid Game because in the 1970s in South Korea, there was a playground game that was on a painted figure on the ground. It looks like a squid, and you had to stay standing in it. I can't remember exactly how you play it, but it's no ball, no anything. You're just trying to stay standing in this thing. It's called Squid Game. And so the person who organized it, that's the thing. And that's kind of why all the games are playground children's games, but they are lethal. And the show, I mean, my personal assessment of the show is it's very boring. The show drags out a lot of stuff. It overinflates a lot of things. The writing is very drawn out and poorly executed, in my opinion. And and as I'm watching it, and worst of all, and again, for an American audience, this is something you have to understand when you're approaching anything Asian, particularly, but that part of the world is that depressing. The show is depressing. We like happy endings. That's something that American audiences are used to. Is even if it's a depressing, dark drama, the ending has some light to it. This one doesn't. It's very. I mean, I'm again there. That's more of a spoiler than anything else I've said, truly. But it's not. And I'm not to spoil it. Not to say that if you watch it that it's the bad guys all win or something like that. No. It's got an ending that kind of solves and concludes a lot of things. But ultimately, you're left depressed. You get to know these characters who all get killed horribly. I mean, the story was traumatizing to the viewer. And a gore fest? Now, I'm saying this from my perspective. I don't like gore. I don't like this time, blood, guts, and gore in movies. I really am not a big fan of that. This one was literally splattered with it. So it's very graphic. The language is highly graphic. And ultimately, it was a bad experience. And I'm never going to watch it again for any measure of time. And I don't recommend people watching unless you really, really like depressing Korean dramas. So, and I said, I watched The Hunger Games. I tried reading the books a long time ago, and I didn't like them. I'm not big on dystopian stories. True, dark, gritty dystopian. It's just not my thing. I'm okay if other people enjoy it, but not me. But my mother's a big fan. And we started watching the first movie it was on TV, and I was like, this is kind of interesting. It's not, to me, it didn't feel like the other dystopian stuff that I really hate. So I decided to watch it. I watched it all the way to the end and loathed it. The whole thing, I hated the writing, I hated the characters, I hated the movies. And I'm like, if I hate these, I'm going to never read the books. But I would sit down and watch Hunger Games gleefully again, over and over, before I would watch Squid Game again.
Well, after that
review,
fantastic review of I'm never watching it. Forget it. I'll take your word for it. But isn't that Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay, because it's all I've been hearing about. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know. I didn't know what it was before you told me. I just heard the name. I knew it was something to do with Netflix because they were comparing it to something else that Netflix had already done or something. So I'm just like, what is this stuff? So, yeah. All right. I'm not watching it. Forget it.
If you want to watch, you like that kind of stuff. I'm not.
Be my guest, please. Yeah.
There are movies and things I would not recommend anybody watch, like that horrible thing they put on Netflix called Cuties, because it was to me very bad. But this one, if you really like that kind of dark drama and grittiness and gore and language and stuff like that, if none of that bothers you and you like it, watch it. I'm not telling you not to, but mark this more as a warning. It's there. It's very in your face. All of what I said is very, very in your face. There's nothing happy about this movie. And for those who care, the movie has sprinkled mildly through it, and in one episode, heavily in it, because it's a miniseries, not a movie, very anti-American attitude. Very grotesquely anti-American. One of the episodes is disgustingly so. And so if you find that you don't want that in your entertainment, do not watch this. So, no, not for me. And the thing is, okay, so the next movie I watch is Muppets Haunted Mansion. So I loved it. I was like, this is so much better.
It fixed everything. Good.
So much better. Well, let me tell you how depressing that was. That the day we watched that was the day I got the message about the agent wanting my manuscript. The moment I got that message, I was literally bouncing off the walls. I was so happy. I'd been that excited in a long time because so happy. We watched that. By the time I'm done, I think to myself, oh yeah, that's right. I got an email today. Okay, who cares? It drained my ability to be happy. I got something so wonderful, and I was like, yay.
Yeah.
So it's really sapped me. Whew. No.
All right. So, yeah, Squid Game is a no. You heard it here, folks. I don't want to hear you complaining afterwards that it was terrible. We warned you first.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even seen it, and I'm not going to watch it. So, yeah.
Don't waste your time.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mm-mm. But yeah, no, I did watch that. It was cute. I didn't realize that there were so many celebrities in the Haunted Mansion, because the bus, as they were singing there in the Haunted Mansion, I could have swore that was Pat Sajak.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And I was right. I was right after. So I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give anything away. So if you have not seen it, you need to watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Well,
The Muppets Haunted Mansion.
If a Muppet movie or show or special is made, they get loads of celebrity cameos.
Oh, yes.
So this one's a lot of them in it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Ashley, I believe I'm the one that told you to watch it to begin with.
What?
I told her to watch that. Someone told me to watch that show. Yeah, it was me. I've been telling everyone, watch it. Have you watched it? I like the Muppets.
Oh yeah, I grew up on Muppets. I was a big fan as a kid, and I continue to be so.
Yeah, I miss those shows.
They brought back the Muppets on Disney Plus, didn't they? They have a new show on there.
They did, yeah. So I've been watching that. Yeah, absolutely. I love Disney Plus. So now that Disney has acquired, National Geographic and Fox and ABC and all that good stuff, you have a lot to watch.
I've been impressed. I've been searching through them and going, wow, I didn't know they have this and they have this, and a lot of older stuff that I've not been able to find anywhere else. Like, oh, it's now on here. I grew up loving The Wizard of Oz as a kid. The Wizard of Oz, but I loved as a kid Return to Oz. I was one of the weird kids in school who was like a first grader who watched that movie. We recorded it on VHS off the TV when I was very little, and I watched that thing over and over and over again. I was never freaked out by it. There were people like, oh, that was such a freaky movie with the Wheelers and the Gnome King and all that. And as a kid, I thought it was great. And then I lost the VHS. I didn't have a movie and thought years had passed. I was like, I haven't seen this movie in forever. And then I tried to find it, and it was out of print. No one had it. All of a sudden, boom, Disney Plus has it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there you go. Yeah. I do like Disney Plus. I like the documentaries.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The series that they keep coming out with. So it's pretty interesting. So we watch all of them. Now I have nothing to watch. So
we'll find it.
Well, I mean, I'm just waiting for certain things to come out. November and December, I think. Hallmark Channel. Oh my God. My show is coming back. I'm a Hardy, folks. That's what I am. See, I am a Hardy because I watch When Calls the Heart on the Hallmark Channel. I'll admit it. I don't care. I do like that show. And for those who do watch the show, Lori Loughlin is coming back after going to jail for that school scandal. But she's going to be on another show, so I don't have to worry about her. But anyways,
I actually think it's fine to bring her back. I mean,
you know, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, because what they're doing is they had that spin-off there, When Hope Calls, if you remember. So, and then nothing happened. It's kind of just stopped. And nobody knew what was going to happen. I guess they're bringing it back. So they're doing a Christmas special in December. And I guess Lori is in the Christmas special. So maybe it's to see how the audience would react to her coming back, to see what the ratings are, or, you know, see how well she does. It's not like they fired her.
No,
I don't think they fired. They kind of just, you know, let her go, you know. So she paid her due. I think that maybe she needs to return, but still, what she did was wrong. But anyways, I mean, that's for a whole nother show.
Well, I'm sharing my wisdom on this. Is that she did something wrong.
Yeah.
And she paid for it.
Yes.
We unfortunately are in a day and an age where we have a society built around social media that says we need to make people pay for whatever wrong they've done for the rest of their lives. Yeah. That's not fair, and that's not right. Yeah. And as a Christian, I will say the same phrase you've heard many times, like, he without sin cast the first stone. You know, so all these people who are looking down the nose, I'm like, beyond the fact that she's paid for this, it didn't affect you. It didn't affect her acting, and ultimately it was considerably a smaller deal. It's done. Move on. You know, when Michael Vick got caught in all that dogfighting crap he got put through, and he got punished for it, and as soon as he got done with his minor punishment they threw at him, all the sportsmen, oh good, let's bring him back. And I'm like, okay, he literally said, he acted like he was nothing wrong, lied about it. Killed dogs and got a slap on the wrist, and you're like, okay, we're good. And yet you have a lot of people like her that what she did was not that serious, to be perfectly honest. And oh my God, let's crucify her and convict her for the rest of eternity. We have no right to do that. So I think, you know, she's done. Move on.
I think it's just going to be awkward, though. Wouldn't it be awkward for you? You went to jail, you scammed, you know, did whatever, and you're going back to work. You're working with the same people that just, you know, knew you before this. Don't you think it's going to be a little, like, awkward? Maybe.
I think it might be awkward. Honestly, I think it'd be more awkward for a person who can't handle it. You know, someone who's like, I don't believe this or whatever. But for the most part, if they were friends, if they were more colleagues and friends in this,
sure,
they would they should be understanding and, you know, accept that back. Now, you know, because again, did she do anything against them? No. Right. So, and you know, I just say that because I that's something that I think we need to try and eradicate from our culture is the cancel culture. You know, cancel means forever. That's what cancel culture is for. A person makes one mistake, or they dig up one from 40 years ago, and they cancel them. They ruin their career. They ruin their life. They try and ruin their family. It's like, no, it's over. It's past due. It's not your responsibility or your right to do that. So we need to drop that really bad from every angle, from liberal to conservative, from Christian to atheist. All that thing needs to be gone, because we can't move forward in friendships, relationships, anything if we have a cancel culture mindset.
Yeah.
I have no right to punish somebody for something they said on the internet 20 years ago for any reason, unless it was against me. And even then, it was that long ago. It should be long past and buried by now.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
So I hope she comes back, and I hope that she goes on with her career. I really do. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens, but I'm waiting for it to come out and it start back up. So yeah, other than that, I think it was a great show. We talked about a lot. So yeah. All right, that's pretty much it. So everyone, have a fantastic weekend. The weekend's here. It's going to be rainy here. Okay. So it was the last day of the 70s weather. Maybe tomorrow but I'm going to be at work, so I really don't care what it does. But yeah, have a great weekend. So
I will say that I have not had a chance to pre-record my show for tomorrow night, and so it's not going to happen. I'm not on tomorrow night. I will be back next week, and I will do my best to pre-record something for the following week. But next week I'm open, so I will be able to record some or have a show.
Yeah.
So that if you're in Michigan, Southeast Michigan, stop by Motor City Comic Con this weekend and come visit me at my booth. Check out the Comic Con. Lots of great stuff going to be there. Come check it out. And I have to run and go get everything packed into a car. So
Well, have fun.
Say good night, everybody.
Yes. All right. Goodbye, everyone.